you're constantly doing the same thing and jumping on the same trainings and, looking at the same how-to and the same checklist every bloody day. But I want you guys to know that the momentum in the team that you've got at the moment, it's not normal in the best way possible. There's actually some really cool energy coming from you guys. So the last 2 months have been really epic. I know. What did you end up on last month, Tans? How many customers?
We had 37, I think, last month.
So close.
Yeah.
So close. And how many was it the month before?
41 or something. No, was it 40, 42 or something like that? Yeah. We were really close to
just falling short of the 50 mark.
Yeah.
Come on, it's got to happen this month. It's got to happen. You guys are getting so bloody close. Who's got promotions happening? Do we have any fun ones? I know we had quite a few new team last month, which was epic. So hopefully a few of those SDVF promotions, which to me, like going back through the most integral part of my business, it really was that jump from the start to SDVF. So I think if you've just hit SDVF or you're building towards it, know that what you're building right now is really important. I know it's probably the hardest part because you're just learning all those new steps and you're learning in a whole new world that's so new to you. But once you do hit SDVF, it kind of becomes a little bit more second nature. And if I'm honest, for me, I think that bonus hitting my bank account was a big belief builder. Like being able to go, holy shit, it's real. Like, there's actually money and they actually pay it to you was big for my confidence, and it gave me more encouragement to go out there and help other people. So I understand that the path to SDVF is quite a little bit like this, but it's definitely something worthwhile to hit. And then, of course, if you've already hit SDVF, the goal is now teach people how to do that. Help them hold their hands, help them bring in as many new team and as many new customers as you can. Just the same way that you guys did, because that's what realistically builds a team. Help people achieve SDVF, help them get those bonuses, and move on through. How good is that, Sarah? I've seen so many of those posts today, actually, because you know what? I have a feeling that life might have happened to quite a few people last month. There was quite a few people who I guess didn't pop up as much as they thought they were going to pop up or hit as many goals as they thought they wanted to. But I saw so many statuses today of people just blown away that they still got paid. And I think
I was actually really shocked, Kat, because I just went on my phone banking and I just had a look. Oh, yeah, I had 2 reorders. Wonder what that'll be. And I had a look. I'm like, oh, crap, that's all right. Okay, that's fine. So it's that, and the fact that they're 2 of my first original customers and they've had reshipments back in September is like, wow, this is actually happening. This can actually happen. So it's not just getting the sales that's actually pumped me. It's like, shit, reshipment. I'm actually getting paid on reshipments. Wow, this is awesome. Yeah. Yeah.
It's nuts, right? That's why that's beautiful, because now you get to understand that residual income that we talk about.
Exactly. Yeah.
Now you imagine that times that. So you've only really been in the business. Is it
6
coming
months.
up to 4? Yeah, I was going to say 5, 6 months.
Yeah.
So times that by what, 10? So you're in here 5 years. And that's what's going to be landing in your bank account. That's why it's so important. It's so easy to get caught up in the fear of trying something new and what will everybody think and all that kind of bullshit that I think so normal for so many of us. But exactly like you said, all you've got to do is just stay in line, focus on the time. The residual income is real. So many of you are starting to feel that, and you can just build it up. That's the most perfect way to do it, because otherwise, what's the alternative? Staying in a shitty job for another 20, 30, 40 years? Nobody really wants to do that, do we?
Yeah. Amen to that one, eh, Sarah?
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? Like, the time is going to go past anyway. That is one of the biggest things that blows my mind, is that people say, you know what, I need something that creates income now, or, I want, for me, I just don't get it. Like, I totally understand that we still need a wage while we build this business up. I think every leader is going to tell you, stay in your job until you can out earn it. Don't go, throwing this away. Don't go throwing your secure income away. But that that job you're always going to have to swap hours for. You're always going to have to give, say, 20, 30, 40 hours of your time each week for what you're receiving. With this, just like you said, you had originally put in, maybe, let's say you put in 2 hours to convert those 2 customers way back, 4 months ago, 8 months ago, actually. When was it? No, 4 months ago.
April. 4 months ago, because if they had a reshipment in September, then it would have been 4 months before that. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, this was their first reshipment. That's right.
Yeah.
So 4 months ago, you put in 2 hours to convince them that this was as amazing as, you believe it to be. And now you've got paid probably close to about, when we look at it, depending on what their order is, but probably close to about 2
premiums.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, depending on your promo, if you can get to SC, you get 2 premiums on 2 reshipments. That's $400.
Yeah, so I'm only on VF at the moment, so I'm going to,
DVF.
DVF. I'm
DVF.
going for SDVF, so not quite that much, but I can see where you're coming from. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's what I want to build on, because those 2 hours, they're going to pay you for the rest of your life if these people stay loving the product. Whereas your traditional work doesn't work like that. You have to constantly keep turning up and keep pouring energy in. And that's what I really want to try and get through to, I guess, our conditioned brain, because so many of us believe that we have to go to work and you have to work hard for your money. You just have to work very smart. Work very smart, get very consistent, keep turning up even when it's uncomfortable, and keep pushing through, because it's so damn worth it. And I'm so glad you brought that up, Sarah, because I think that's one of the biggest things that people underestimate. They give up because it gets hard and they jump ship, and then they're stuck in a career that they don't like for another 40 years. And they've given up way, way, way too soon. So just stay in line, girls. I've honestly seen there's some people in this business that don't really rock it anymore. They were quite passionate at the start, but then life got in the way, or other passions came in, and they're kind of doing this part-time. They're still earning about $2,000 a month just because of the work they did years and years ago. Like, imagine if they had have went hard out. Imagine if they had have given it, they'd be in the same spot as I am. So, regardless of whether you want to do it full-time or whether you just want a little bump up every month, it's really, really worth it. Just stay in line, follow the leaders that have already done it, and get really hungry for what can be, because it's really, I guess, available to everybody. There's no right or wrong person that creates success in this business. How many have we had on here that have been to conference? Quite a few.
Just Pete, Maxine, and I.
And Monique.
Hi, Monique. And
Kieran. And Kieran.
Bonnie and Kieran.
Is Tam not on?
No, I don't know where Tammy is tonight.
Oh,
Visiting family.
visiting family.
Oh, it's Chase's birthday, isn't it? Yeah.
It's Chase's birthday today.
Family time. There's
Family
nothing
time.
nice to say.
We got
You got
Sin. We
Sin?
don't get Sin very much.
Hey, beautiful. Well, you guys would know, going to conference, how many different people were there? There was no oh yeah, you suit NMD. It was literally so many different casts. And I love that, because it just goes to show that there's no right or wrong way to hit it. You can be absolutely anybody and create insane success in this business. You just have to stay in line, make sure that you always choose love, always choose to come from the heart. The second you overthink it, the second you get stuck in your mind and you start worrying about other people and all that kind of bullshit, that's when you'll fall off the grid. And that's when you'll have to go straight back to all those shitty choices that you're currently making. For me, the choices that I was making when I started this business were not ideal. Not ideal at all. I know it sounds stupid, but even just going to the groceries and not being able to buy what you wanted. And always having to go for the cheaper brand, even if you didn't like it. Yeah.
That was me. That was my life, taking the calculator with me.
Yeah.
And it's and then getting to the counter, and this was my life before Pete, but my card being declined, and then finding out that there's not enough money that I thought was in there, and having to take food away. That's just the most, the worst thing ever.
It is. It's so it just really tears at you, doesn't it? It makes you feel like you're not worth anything, which is so shitty because, you know, you would have worked your ass off tons. You were a single mum to 4 at that stage?
Yeah.
It's just so unfair. So honestly, it's worth it. It's worth it to have the money keep popping up. It's worth it, and it's smart. It's not only worth it, but it's a smart way to make wealth because, you know, you can't work for the rest of your life and you shouldn't want to. You should want to be able to create something that is still going to land in your bank account, even if you've had a busy month traveling, or if you've got to, you know, go away and visit family and have time off grid or whatever it is. You still should be able to get paid, and you should be able to have that for the rest of your life because, I mean, none of us are the type of people that can just live for the weekends. Yeah, otherwise we wouldn't have said yes to this opportunity. We know that there's more to life out there. So I am so excited for you guys because I can feel the energy and I can feel the momentum building. The one thing that I want to tell you guys, what I've witnessed time and time again over watching people's journeys in this business, when you start to feel momentum, when you start to actually get promotions and you start to get money in your bank, it can flip back, not only just make you hungry, it can also help you self-sabotage. So it's really strange, it's really bizarre, but the human psyche does a thing where things are going too well and you're building too strong and you're feeling too much excitement and too much passion, it can actually start to F you up. It can start to make you not turn up to things. It can start to make you miss deadlines. It can start to make you think, oh, you know what, I don't need to jump on training tonight, or, you know, I don't really need to follow up today. I don't need to get back to them until tomorrow. And you can start to drop the ball purposefully. And I find it one of the most bizarre things, but I know I do it myself. So I just want to say, while you guys are winning, stay on top of the ball. Don't let your human nature fall down right there, because I feel like it's sorry, I'm getting random messages from Claudine. I just need to tell her sometimes to chill the hell out. She sends like 11 in a row. But yeah, honestly, just watch yourselves, because I know so many of you had big months where you got big promotions and you had lots of customers and lots of leads and lots of prospects, and just stay in that momentum. Don't get angry at yourself if you do have a quiet month. That will happen. It's allowed, because honestly, we can't always be winning so many prospects in this business. Like we've talked about, sorry, I don't have my whiteboard, but how we ebb and flow in this business. So some of you guys have, I guess when we were talking on previous trainings, said that you're a bit disappointed in some months. And I just want to remind you that that's okay. It's so normal. You can't be an overachiever every month. And sometimes that's quite hard, because a lot of us come into this business because we like achieving and we want to do things differently. But some months when we're down on the peak, the bottom peak, I really want you guys to remember that it's normal. In fact, it's necessary, because they're the times where you have to go internal, you have to look after yourself, and you also have to look after the people that are already in your business. So your current team or your current customers. I like to call it a maintenance mode. If you have a quiet month, that's your maintenance mode, okay? That's when you go and you build those foundations really strong. Just like you, Sarah, because you must have done that. You must have built those foundations strong and shown good customer care for those 2 people to reship. Yeah? So that's why maintenance months are so important, because if we're constantly working with fresh blood, then that means that we've got no time to look after the old ones. We've got no time to help make sure that our team are hitting goals, or that we're listening to their needs, or that we're working with current customers and making sure that they know all the value that our program entails. So rather than see them in a negative light, if you're not getting what you want from the new energy that you're putting out, go back and work on the old, because sometimes that will pay you just as much as new leads. Just like you found out there, Sarah, those 2 reshipments are basically 2 brand new customers without doing any work. Exactly. So that's why I find it's really important. Don't be hard on yourself. You know, I'm a big one in believing that you do have to put a little bit of pressure on yourself to achieve anything. If you're always to go with the flow, this business won't work for you. You have to be able to say, well, you know what, this month I'm not satisfied unless I get 5 new customers, or I'm not satisfied unless I get 3 new team, or whatever it is that you know you need in order to reach those financial goals. Sometimes you have to put a little bit of pressure, a little bit of leverage, but at the same time, that can't happen every single month. It's not maintainable. Your business will fall out from underneath you because you won't have the retention. So don't be hard on yourself if you've been in this business for a little while and maybe last month or the month before was a quiet month. Just go all in October. Say, okay, cool, well, now's my time to grow. If you are brand new though, utilize the excitement that you've got in your business right now. There is no better time to build big than right at the start of your business, because people are interested, people are curious, people want to know your story. It's fresh, it's shiny. They may not have seen something like this before. So it is really, really powerful. So I think for me, that's kind of my biggest advice, looking at the reports of where the team is. Sorry, someone's got kids' YouTube on very loud. I can hear it in the background there. But that's my advice going through my reports, looking at where this beautiful team is so far. Like, honestly, I'm not sure it means too much to you guys, but the whole entire team that you guys had a really insane pay line increase last month. So that means as a team, you guys increased the pay line that you've been able to create. So the amount of customers that are coming into your business and the amount of customers that are retaining, that are reordering. So that shows me that where you're at, who you're with, obviously your beautiful mentors inside this team, really have their shit together. And you've got some really exciting things coming up over the next 6 months, which no doubt I know for Tans what's going to come up. But I also for you guys who have been in the business for a little bit longer, like Moni and Max and Sin and Tammy, Tans, don't forget, right now you guys should be utilizing the Elevate bonuses. So remember, they're only on the table until the 1st of January. They're insane. So the SC bonus has gone up to $1,000. The SSC bonus has gone up to $2,400. And the Q has gone up to 4,000, right, Tons? So they will drop back down to a normal kind of medium level when the new pay plan is released next weekend. So utilize them. Set yourself up. October, November, December, we really don't have a lot of time to be achieving big promotions like that. So if they're on the table for you guys, do your damned hardest. You know, don't miss out on them. Juice Plus is going to pay out the money, so you may as well make the most of it. Think about what kind of changes that would make for your family. I'm almost a little bit ripped off that I can't go back and restart because I want some of those Elevate bonuses. But can I say there's some damn good things coming in the new pay plan as well. So it is an exciting time, but I think for you guys, before we switch over to that pay plan, you may as well make the most of what they're willing to pay out. And basically, like I mentioned, it's just supporting new people to hit SDVF, teaching them the importance of coming from the heart rather than overthinking it and getting stuck in your mind, and just following those 5 high-paying activities quite consistently. I know for you guys, Tans was saying that there's quite a common theme of fear at the moment. I want to tell you that goes away, but it doesn't. We're human. We're going to constantly be fearful of what the next level is, but it's worth it. It's worth it to put in the action, to get past that fear, feel the fear and do it anyway, because that's when a really cool life starts to come. You know, it's so easy, isn't it? What's that?
I'm just looking at Sun.
Yeah.
You can't see her, Kat.
No, I can't see her. Is she excited by that?
Yeah, she is. Yeah, we're getting all the body movements.
Yeah. And you know what, like, I guess I never really thought about this before I come in the business, because I was basically just on survival mode. You know, the thought of even just having an extra $500 a month was life-changing for me, because that would mean not standing at the cash register, putting things back. But it goes so much bigger than that, guys. Like, I can't even talk about it without sounding like I'm trying to toot my own horn in life at the moment. But like, you wake up without freaking alarms. You get to do whatever you want every single day. You get to spend money on whatever you want to spend money on, rather than worrying about it or stressing out. You get to take your kids wherever you want, even if they're older. You can go and spoil them. You can do things. You can, I don't know, it just takes away so much damn stress. It really does. I know they say money doesn't buy happiness, and I totally agree with that. But I think money just expands what you are. And if you're kind and you're generous and you're thoughtful, money can make you so much more of that. You can really give so much more. You can do so much more. And it's just that anxiety, releasing that's attached to money. So when we talk about getting out of your comfort zone, that's it, Kieran. Money gives you so many more choices. It really does. And I think that in turn does make you a better person, because a lot of the time, if you're reacting from fear and you're reacting from lack of money all the time, it takes up a lot of stress and a lot of anxiety inside your energy. And I know for me, it didn't make me a very nice person. I know, me too, Maxine, me too, because it takes away so much of my stress. And it's funny because we talk about it quite regularly. When I first started, I had such a bad relationship with money. I thought that people with money were greedy, and I thought people with money were, it was really quite bizarre. I thought money was evil. I thought money was attached to bills and stress and all this kind of stuff, because that was my situation at that time. And it wasn't until I had a really great mentor sit me down and ask about my connection with money that I actually thought about it. You know what? I don't like money at the moment. Money freaks me the hell out because I don't have enough of it. It's not something I even want to think about. It was stick my head in the sand kind of stuff. And then she asked me, do you think you will attract it then? You understand the law of attraction. If you hold this kind of energy, if you hold this belief about money, do you feel like your business is going to grow and like you will attract it? And it was one of the biggest slap me in the face kind of moments, because I knew right then and there that I was the person that had put myself in that hole. I was constantly scared about money, so there was no surprise that I was constantly in debt. I was constantly receiving more bills. And when we talk about money doesn't buy you happiness, I agree with that. But because money doesn't, when you have more money in your bank and you're not stressing out about it, when you can look at your account and you're not living week to week, it takes away that financial stress. And I feel like when it takes away that financial stress, you're not attracting negative things anymore that are going to cost you money. Like I can't even explain. When I was really broke, anything that could go wrong with my car would go wrong. Anything that would happen, that could happen, would happen. Like I'd get random speeding tickets, even though I couldn't even remember speeding, or I would get parking tickets, or just shit, come up with extra things that I never even knew was there, but it would be something that I'd have to spend money on. Whereas now, these days, it just doesn't happen because I'm not holding those thoughts and those patterns and that fear. So I think that that's a big part of this business too, is releasing all that and learning just to put one foot in front of the other and attract some goodness. It really is just like a totally different life. So I'm so excited for you guys, because I know it's all like just there. It's like you're right at the door walking in and it's ready to kind of expand. And over the next 4 years, you're going to be sitting here talking to team about it and telling them how awesome it is, so that you can encourage them to do the same. But what else do you think, Tans? I mean, you obviously know these beautiful people way more than I do. You've worked so closely with them, but what are some common themes that you're seeing at the moment that maybe we could tackle this month so that we can hit the big magical 50 number that I know you guys have had on your goal chart for a while?
Yeah, well, I mean, self-sabotage is one, definitely. Yeah, I think, and you've covered that one. So yeah, Emma's nodding. Hi, Emma. But I actually thought maybe opening it up for questions, because I have a question and I thought it would be a really good opportunity for learning for everybody, because it's a bit of a biggie.
Oh, I love biggies.
Is that okay? Because what you've shared is just fantastic. Oh, is that okay, Sim? Do you have a question, Sim? Oh, no, okay. So I got... earlier this year, I got somebody applied for one of my job ads through my business page. And once she'd kind of been through the process, realised that actually she was already an existing Juice Plus customer. with someone else through a different partner in the company. I don't know who she is or anything. I didn't really ask about that. But I sort of said to her at that time, I said, look, if you're really interested in the business, you're best to go to your friend and talk to her about, you know, jumping on. And she says, okay, she will do that. And we sort of stayed in contact because I said to her, because she's in Wellington, she's in the same local area. I said, if you want to come to the events once you've joined as a partner, you're more than welcome to come along and join us. And so she was keen about that. And she's been loving on all of my posts, like all of my business posts and my, you know, product posts and everything. And then today I get this message from her and she said, hey, I've been having a really big think about this, and I really think that I would rather actually join your team because you're local to me. And so my last reply to her was, I sort of really asked her if she was still a customer, because this has probably been about 3 months since she originally applied. And I haven't really, I know she's replied, but I haven't really looked at it yet. So I'm just wondering, what's the ethical thing to do here? Or what's the right thing to do here?
It's definitely a curly one, but I think for the nature of it, I think you've done all of the right things. I would do exactly the same. But at the end of the day, I feel like it's a business decision, and I feel like that's what she has to think about. And even though she might be a customer of her friend, if her friend is not holding her hand, teaching her, inviting her to events like you are, or directing her to local things and really being an active mentor and upline, I feel like there's going to be a part of her that is going to gravitate towards somebody else, and that's totally fine. The only thing is that I would have a really open conversation with her around the fact that this could be awkward for her and her friend, because a lot of people don't understand in this business that if you join someone's team, you're then inside their team. You're not inside your friend's team. You know, you can't, once you join somebody, that's your person. And I feel like people don't really understand that. They don't really understand the concept that that could upset someone else because they might need teammates. But if you have that conversation and be really upfront and honest, I mean, I've had this conversation on the flip side as well. I have had somebody who wanted to join the team and also had a best friend who was doing it. And she said, I love my best friend, but she's been doing it for 2 years and she still very rarely even posts on her Facebook. She's too frightened, you know, of fear and judgment and things like that. And she said, I really want to make this work. And she'd been following me also. So she'd reached out and said, I want to join your team. And we had to have that chat around, well, if you're a customer of your friend, I respect that. And I'd love to see you go back and say, hey, I want to do the business. But ultimately, it's your business decision. If you want to jump with your friend and have her mentor you, or you want to jump with me and have me mentor you, it's totally up to you. Because, I mean, ethically, the right thing is always going to be send them back to who they're with currently. Is that the best thing for their business? Probably not. Probably not. You know, they might blend better with somebody else. But that being said, if she does join the business with her friend, I can't even tell you the amount of people that are inside Team Love that aren't inside Team Love. The amount of people that are in different teams, different legs, that have just met me along the way and said, you know what, I really like the way that you run the business. I don't gel with my upline, or, you know, my upline's not current. And I've said, I'll adopt you, come into my team. I don't see their pay line. I don't see their reports, but I know that I can still help them out and keep them motivated and keep them on track to help their business succeed. So it kind of works both ways, but I can imagine for you, Tance, I think it would be better for you to take the reins there, babe. I think this person would be better off underneath you. And I think as long as you do the right things and you don't actively poach or try and be sneaky, which I could never see anybody in my team doing anyway, there's nothing that can really come back on you there.
Yeah, okay. Okay, thank you. Yeah, the conversation will be fine. I was thinking that I need to do something along that lines, but yeah, I just had to make sure I wasn't doing anything wrong with, you know, recent events that have happened.
No,
Yeah.
I wouldn't even feel guilty about it either.
Okay.
You know,
Cool.
it's
Just
her,
to add to
her
all of that,
decision.
you know, like when I was starting this, I wasn't already a customer, so I didn't really quite have that, you know, link to anyone. But my cousin had been trying to get me to be a customer for quite a while, and as much as I love her and everything, she's in Whangarei, and so not only do I resonate on a different level with Tanya, where I feel like it's more of a mentorship, but I also felt like the vicinity, having somebody actually close, was a really important thing for me. So just remember that, Tans, that sometimes it is kind of geographic location as well that does actually matter to people, because they don't only want your mentorship, but they want to be able to come and sit with you and be present and come to your events and things like that. That what you project is magnetic, and people are really attracted to that.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely, Sim. Absolutely. I totally agree with that. And to be honest, it's a really cool thing to have a upline who is right next to you. Coming from me, who had my upline in the same town, I'm a very hands-on learner. So the fact that we could sit down at the same table and she could write out the promotions in front of me was really, really important. Now, I mean, that doesn't mean that if your upline's not near you, you can't succeed. Like, look at me and Tans. We live in totally different countries, and we've been pretty much doing this from the moment she said, hey, I don't gel well with my upline. Can I come and help it all out? Because like her uplines, there's so many of them. Hey, Tans, there's so many.
There's 3 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, and the hard thing was, and I mean, you'll kind of know this as well, sometimes it's awkward to work with one of your best friends as your upline, or sisters or cousins or something like that. So sometimes it is better if they're that type of person, they might know themselves that they would rather have direction from someone they don't know. They might feel awkward having their best friend tell them what to do, you know, or saying, you know what, you really need to get your ass into gear. You're about to miss that deadline and $400 is going to drop off the table. You know, they might think, I don't want that to come between me and my friendship. I would just rather have some random tell me that info and keep me on track and whip me in the ass, rather than somebody that I know it could get a little bit weird with. So we can't make the decisions for them, but I feel like as long as you've given them the option to say, hey, you know what, this might cause a few issues, so I just want to preempt them before they come up, you're going to have a nice chat with whoever it is that you're ordering from at the moment to let them know that you want to become a rep and that you've found somebody who has a position open who you gel with. And that I hope you don't take any offense to that. It's a pure business decision. I want to work with somebody close to my vicinity, whatever it is, you know, you give her a few ideas. I would just be really careful though. Don't let her think that it's a totally bad idea, because I actually believe that if she's coming and gravitating towards you, she knows deep down that it's a good idea. Baby, can you do me a favour and turn that light on for me? It's just getting really dark in here.
Yeah. We almost can't see you. We can see your white singlet.
My white teeth. My white teeth and my white singlet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks, darling. Woo, that's
better. Wow. Okay, great. Thank you. That was great advice, and thanks for yours too, Sim.
Yeah, awesome.
Perfect. Yeah.
Do we have anything else?
Yeah. Any questions?
I'll read the chat
Anyone?
box too. I'll have to jump off in 5 minutes anyway, but I'd love to help if we've got anybody with anything that they're struggling with at the moment. I know so many of you guys are in rebuild mode too. So maybe you've had SDVFs that have popped, or you've had team fallout and now you've got to rebuild. I just want to let you guys know, don't overthink that. If you can build once, you can build twice. And trust me, it's a skill that you're going to need for life in this business. Yeah, you're constantly going to need to be rebuilding. Right now, I'm probably going to give myself another 4 to 5 weeks of total mum duty and total sleep deprived zombie, and then I'm going right back to rebuilding my business. So there's no level where you need to get at where that's not a skill that you can't utilize. If you want to keep using money in this business and keep making money, because remember, there's no glass ceiling. That's the beautiful thing. I'm so happy and relieved to have my income. But just like Maxine, I would always like more of it. There's always more I can achieve. There's always more I can do. There's more opportunities that I can say yes to. So I'm pretty keen to take my income next level as well. So I think don't be discouraged. Don't overthink it. Don't get overwhelmed. There's a saying in this business, there's nothing in your business that 5 new frontline can't fix. So if you're in a I'm stuck or I'm lost kind of space, put your focus on 5 people whose lives you can change. Yeah, not 5 team for you, because that's making it all about you. 5 people whose lives you can change, because that's really worth it. Really, really worth it. You get revenue coming from helping them put money in their bank, and you also get revenue for your financial kickback on helping them succeed. So that's a better way to look at it. It becomes so overwhelming when you're constantly putting yourself in the way and making it about you. It really does. Yay! Good girl, Sarah. That's exciting.
Oh, nice.
That's my kind of prospect date too.
Nice, Sarah. Sarah's got a 3-way call with a US potential tomorrow, honey?
Yeah. I've just messaged her to remind her and hope that she's got a Zoom. So we'll fingers crossed. Yeah. So tomorrow morning, I think it's 9 o'clock our time, isn't it, Tanya?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Exciting.
Fantastic, guys. That's exciting. So last month we had 8 new teamies, didn't we, Tons?
Yeah.
So if you think about that, if you're a brand new teamie and you're one of those 8, welcome. Now your mission is to go and find somebody just like you. Go and find someone else who's hungry. Go and find someone else who needs something like this. Because I would really love to see. So we got 8. Let's get to 15, Tons.
What have I got down here? I've got 10 for my Survive Go and 20 for my Thrive. So,
ooh, well, 15, that's a happy medium. That's a happy medium.
Can we do it? We can do it.
Absolutely, because you think about it, those 8 people, to generate the income that you're after, guys, you need to go out and find people. You need to go out and actually find, just like I said, other people like you. Don't overthink it. It's not hard. Trust me, I've found about 70 of them. You just have to be hungry enough to do the same action every day. There's people out there with their hands up. I promise you, so many people out there with their hands up who are so sick of their life, so sick of the circumstances that they're in. You just have to dig for them. Dig for them. They're like golden diamonds. They do pop up, I promise. So if you think that each one of those 8 beautiful people at least put on 1, if not maybe 2, that's it. Plus you've got all these beautiful, I want to call you golden oldies, but you're not even old. But, golden oldies in the term of Juice Plus.
Rachel's only 19. She's like the youngest.
Wow, that's so cool. Well, technically, you could be a golden oldie if you've been in the business more than 6 months. That's what I class you as, regardless of age. I'm really old. I'm like the golden grandma oldie. But the beauty of it is that, like, you guys are there too. You can go out and find some. So I would really think that 15 is an easy target. 15 we can do. Stretch of 20.
We can do it.
And you know what? 50 customers, stretch of 75. Is that what you've got, Tons?
I've got a stretch of 100.
Oh, God, I love you, woman. I love you, big business.
Hey, I'm an overachiever. Just like you.
Yeah, exactly. They go far, trust me. Where's the other one? That's going to be hot. Go and put your other nightie on. Say hi. Grumpy.
Oh, hi, gorgeous.
Get that out of your mouth.
Hello.
Okay. All right. I better scoot off, my loves, because I'm going to have dinner with my mum tonight to celebrate our new house. So, so exciting. So it was so lovely to see you guys. It was an absolute pleasure being on. I'm sorry I was late. I was hoping that I'd be up and set ready, but hopefully you've got some value. And by all means, I would love to help wherever I can. So if there's anything that you can ask or you're too shy to ask today, send me an inbox, hey, so I can help out.
Great. Thanks so much, Kat, for your time.
My absolute pleasure. It was so lovely to see you guys. We'll chat again soon.
Okay.
And I'm so epically excited about those gold tons. Is everybody else keen? Is everybody else keen to make that happen? That means that we're going to have to find at least 2 or 3 customers each.
Well,
Yeah.
we've got 2 excited.
Yep, 2. That's good. So you guys got to find 50
3.
customers each, right?
Sounds super excited.
No, that's epic. I'm excited, especially now with the new shiny VO. I can keep track of you guys way better. So I'm looking forward to it. But anyway, have a good night, guys. I won't leave you too long because it must be getting late over there as well.
Thank you. You too. 10 to
Yeah.
9.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Talk
Bye,
soon, guys.
everyone.
Bye.